You ever wondered if SpongeBob was actually kidnapped by the bus driver that took him to rock bottom? Like, I know that sounds kind of stupid, but I was really thinking back on this episode and how everything went down, and I think this was all done on purpose. Okay, so SpongeBob and Patrick just finished the day at Glove World. They hop on a bus to head home and SpongeBob realizes he needs to pay the fare, which is 50 cents. He starts fumbling around looking for his wallet, and every time he turns around, his glove balloon would just keep smacking the bus driver in the face, which, by the way, this bus driver looks awfully familiar from other episodes, which I want to talk about that more at the end of the video. But anyways, remember this part when SpongeBob hits him with the balloon, because you can clearly see the bus driver is just getting increasingly annoyed with each hit, and ended up just telling SpongeBob to have a seat. On the drive back home, they're talking about the random stuff they got from Glove World when they realized that they were leaving Bikini Bottom. They wind up in this super creepy place called Rock Bottom, and the bus driver, I mean, this dude just ends up kicking them out.
But sir, we need to get back to Bikini Bottom.
Oh well.
Now, Rock Bottom, this place is dark. It's eerie. It honestly made this episode unforgettable for me. Like, even the bit where they try and figure out which bathroom to use, it's just like, oh, old SpongeBob just hits different.
Just wait for someone to come out and then you'll know.
So SpongeBob tells Patrick to stay put while he figures out the bus schedule. But then, as luck would have it, a bus comes by and Patrick accidentally leaves SpongeBob behind. Now, I'm throwing around the word accidentally very loosely here because there's no way Patrick can accidentally hop on a bus and accidentally pay for it to go home. So SpongeBob tries chasing after the bus, but he had no luck. So he decides to wait at the bus stop, determined to catch the next bus. While he's waiting, he notices his shoe is untied. He starts tying his shoes with the classic loop-de-loop and pull method, but just as he's finishing up, a bus arrives and leaves him before he can even react. Then, after some time has passed by, SpongeBob's glove balloon gets loose. He jumps, but another bus arrives and then departs literally while he's mid-jump. And he doesn't even notice till it's too late. Then some dude comes chasing after his balloon and SpongeBob couldn't catch him, but as he's walking back to the bus stop, which I'd say is like less than 10 feet away from him, another bus comes and just leaves him immediately. Next, he spots a candy machine across the road and his stomach just starts growling. He decides to quickly grab a snack, but this happens. And he tries again, sprinting over to the machine, checking for buses the entire time. He puts in the coin and immediately another bus comes and goes. He finally gets his candy to come down, but as soon as he puts his hand inside the machine to get it, another bus comes and leaves. And then this next one is just trolling this man SpongeBob at this point. Dude, I know everyone already knows this, but this SpongeBob era is like, dude, this is the best freaking era there is. Anyways, some alien looking fish comes and takes SpongeBob's candy bar, and as SpongeBob leaves his post to chase after him, 3 different buses come pretty much simultaneously. So being the genius he is, he sets up a fake SpongeBob across the street to trick the bus drivers, but as soon as the fake SpongeBob falls, the bus driver hits the gas, leaving SpongeBob busless yet again. He even disguises himself as a bench, and listen to what he says here. Okay, so I looked it up and he's actually saying fish paste, but I don't know. I think the writers cleverly added that in there just to make it sound like he's calling the bus driver something. After the bench thing didn't work, SpongeBob waits in this crazy line at the bus station only to miss the last bus by seconds. When the Ticketmaster tells SpongeBob that there's no more buses until morning and then shuts off the lights, SpongeBob's flashlight dies too. It's advanced darkness now and SpongeBob is alone, totally freaked out. Suddenly, he hears this weird raspberry noise and gets super scared. He makes a run for it and ends up meeting with this dude from earlier. Turns out he found his lost glove balloon, and at first SpongeBob is a little sarcastic about the balloon, but then he realizes that the dude is actually helping him. The fish ties the balloon to SpongeBob's waist, and next thing you know, SpongeBob is floating up and out of Rock Bottom and makes it back home. Now, hear me out, because I've thought about this for too long and I'm like 86% sure that this is not even a theory, but a fact. SpongeBob beats up the bus driver. Bus driver's like, Oh yeah? He hits the gas and takes SpongeBob and Patrick to rock bottom. The bus driver waits for the perfect time to pick up Patrick, forces him to get in the bus to take him back to Bikini Bottom, and then called every bus driver in the area to not pick up a yellow sponge. Okay, like, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but there's this famous TikToker named Seth. He went to a GameStop to try and sell a fake game called Cousin Kisser.
Yeah, no, you're done.
It was just a joke, man.
It doesn't matter, get out of my store.
Can we just end on good terms?
No.
I'll be back with a new game next week, okay? It'll be funnier this time.
Don't come back.
Now, obviously, this was a joke, but the people in the store took so much offense that they actually called every GameStop and warned them about him.
It all started 3 months ago when I was blacklisted from every GameStop for pulling some pranks on their employees.
My district manager says, if I ever see you guys again, you guys have to leave.
This has also happened to countless other YouTubers like Ross Creations. And when we look at the situation that SpongeBob was put in, the main point I'm trying to make is that I have no doubt that this bus driver did the same thing. Now let's talk about Patrick. When we see the shot of Patrick leaving, we can hear him screaming, right? I'm here thinking like, Patrick, why don't you just jump out? But the thing is, the bus driver forced Patrick to get on the bus on purpose, just to leave SpongeBob behind. Cause look, one, Patrick was literally able to get picked up, meaning the bus driver had no problem with him. And two, one thing I didn't mention, if we go to the end of the episode, we see Patrick on a bus saying this.
Don't worry, SpongeBob, I'm coming back for you.
So yeah, obviously, I don't think Patrick would have left SpongeBob there in the first place on purpose. Like, I know Patrick is a little slow sometimes, but he would not, like, he just wouldn't do that. We can clearly see how important SpongeBob is to Patrick in episodes like Home Sweet Pineapple, where a bunch of nematodes came to Bikini Bottom. Like, these nematodes eat everything in sight, and eventually they find their way to SpongeBob's house. They pull out straws and start drinking juice from the pineapple's house, which caused it to shrink and eventually just disappear entirely. SpongeBob and Gary wake up to find their house shrinking around them. SpongeBob calls Squidward for help, but Squidward is just, I mean, you know Squidward. He's not very helpful and just enjoys the idea of SpongeBob being in trouble. Patrick then comes over, and when he sees what happened, he's initially shocked. SpongeBob is devastated because his house is completely gone and he thinks he'll have to move back in with his parents. But here's the part that really shows how awesome Patrick is as a friend. Patrick offers to let SpongeBob stay with him indefinitely. Like, that's his homie, and this gesture just shows Patrick's unwillingness to leave his best friend without support and shelter. And even in more ironic episodes like camping episodes and the one with the shell, these episodes really highlight for me how much of a best friend Patrick and SpongeBob really are, because they just trust each other and they're like kind of dumb ideas. But point is, Patrick wouldn't just get on a bus and leave SpongeBob out there on purpose. And the last thing I want to mention about this bus driver, I was watching this episode back and I'm like, wait, is this Nat? Like, isn't this the same fish that Karen was paying under the table to eat at the chum bucket just to make Plankton happy?
Not ever again. The deal's off, computer. I can't eat another bite of that slop.
Since when did bro become a bus driver? Like, he's not even listed as a bus driver in the SpongeBob's Wikipedia page. I don't know. It just kind of makes me feel like there's just a lot more to this theory hiding in plain sight that I'm not even getting. So let me know what you think in the comments, and also let me know in general, did SpongeBob purposely get kidnapped by Nat just for smacking him around with balloons? Because if this is true, bro might as well be the most evil character in the show.